Stuff at this stage is ridiculous.
Lionel Messi has shaken hands with.
A very big congratulations to Arsenal Football Club for making it to the Champions League finals, and also Arsenal are on the verge of winning the double this season. Come on, I mean, this Arsenal side has been more of a roller coaster ride for Arsenal Football Club and their fans alike. And I think that this opportunity for Arsenal to, to shock the world, to shock the footballing universe, because this Arsenal side is a side that they have been written off. I would say that a couple of weeks ago, a lot of people were saying, oh, Arsenal bottled the league. Oh, Arsenal, I mean, they don't think that this Arsenal can even win a trophy. I mean, from quadruple to almost nothing. And you can say that this Arsenal side, they have, tried to prove their doubters wrong. Qualifying ahead of Atletico Madrid was no easy feat. I mean, this Atletico side, we've seen this Atletico side come far in the Champions League competition. And, during the era where Real Madrid were a dominant force, I mean, Real Madrid won the Champions League 3 consecutive times. I think Atletico Madrid went to finals twice in 5 years. And this Atletico Madrid side, they ousted a resilient and a formidable Barcelona side, I mean, with some controversial decision. And then again, Arsenal held their own and went on to a remarkable final. I mean, their first final in over 23 years. And this Champions League final is going to be one of the most watched Champions League final. And I think Arsenal has what it takes to write history this time around. Although a lot of people think that this Arsenal side will be clearly whitewashed by PSG side. PSG side, they are coming into this competition to do, I mean, a back-to-back Champions League win. I think the last team that did that in recent years was Real Madrid. Real Madrid did it 3 times. But then again, I see that this Arsenal side have the potential to knock out PSG. If Bayern Munich had made it to the final, it would have been more difficult task for Arsenal, because we know that this Bayern Munich side has a Harry Kane, who has already played in the Premier League and no Arsenal weak points. They also had Luis Diaz, who played in Liverpool, Mikel Arteta, who played for Crystal Palace, and Company, who was also a Premier League legend and a one-time coach Burnley. This would have proved, a kind of a tussle, a psychological tussle, and a game in which this side, with their experience in the Premier League, will try to prove more difficult for this Arsenal side. But then again, Arsenal, I think having PSG instead of Bayern Munich is a blessing in disguise. This PSG side, I think they can, offer a lot of problem for Arsenal. But I see Arsenal still have the advantage. This PSG side, they have not been that good defensively, because we see their first match, they played 5-4. I don't know why they came back, but in the second leg, they did well. I mean, 1-1, they didn't concede as much as they did in the first leg. But this PSG side, they have shown that they can fall under pressure. We saw, I think, in their domestic league, they were not that decisive like the PSG side we used to know. Up to this time in the season, we'll expect that PSG will be like 10 or 9 points clear, but that's not the case. I think they should be like 4 points clear of Lens. They were defeated by Lyon last weekend. They were also defeated by Rennes and Monaco in recent time. So Arsenal can, take positive from PSG, not so consistent form in their couple of runs in their league, and use that as a catalyst, as a motivation factor to prove that they can be able to hold it out against this PSG side. And guess what? Arsenal will be also coming out to seek revenge, because the last time they were knocked out of the competition was last season, when they were knocked out in the semi-finals by this same PSG side. So I think Arsenal will go back and, go back to the drawing board, learn their lesson, and come back to grab this European trophy. This is the trophy that has eluded Arsenal for many years. I mean, Arsenal are yet to win a European trophy. And guess what? If Tottenham can do it against Manchester United last season, Arsenal are also on course to write history. Remember that PSG won it for the first time in their career last season, and Arsenal is on the verge of doing it this season. So I think Arsenal are going to rewrite history. Don't take my word for it, but I think Arsenal can be able to do that. And also, coming into the Premier League, we see Man City faltered yet again. I mean, during the final stretch of the season, we thought that Man City is going to be unbeatable and, go on to take this cup from Arsenal. But Man City, they shocked us by a 3-3 draw against Everton. That 3-3 draw would have been a loss for Man City, but we saw Jeremy Doku I mean, in the last seconds of the game, he called a finisher onto the far right corner of the goalpost beyond the reach of the goalkeeper. And I think that goal might be a turning point, or it might be something significant in the running into the final stretch of the game. I think they have like 3 or 4 matches to go, Man City, and Arsenal have just 3 matches to go. But then again, Arsenal face a very difficult task against West Ham. We know that the West Ham side, they are trying to avoid relegation and they host Arsenal. One would think that Arsenal are going to win the last 3 games, but then again, Arsenal need to hold it down and win the last 3 games. And we also know there's also a possibility of an injury. Looking at this Arsenal side, Saka back on form. Eze, I think Eze is still not in some injury, but I think that Arsenal, if Arsenal can just try to beat West Ham, that would be Arsenal's biggest match in the concluding part of the Premier League title race. Arsenal versus West Ham, this is the match that everyone has to look out for. I see this game as a game that Arsenal can potentially slip up, but if Arsenal can be able to defeat West Ham, I mean, this Premier League title is a wrap up. So I don't know, but Arsenal, this is the time for Arsenal fans to have this feeling of optimism, and they should believe in themselves, have this mentality that yes, we can go on to win it. I see Gabriel, the Arsenal defender, in an interview, he said when they scored that goal against Atletico Madrid, they knew that definitely they were going to Budapest, definitely they were going to the final. This is the belief I so much wanted from the Arsenal players. Have that belief, the mentality of becoming champions, because you cannot just become champions by playing your best. You have to think like a champion. That mentality has to be there, and I think Arsenal players that need to have the mentality and that belief. And one thing I also have to say that Arsenal has to the advantage is their defensive work rate. I mean, Arsenal defense has been so tight and in some cases impenetrable, because we see that Arsenal, they concede fewer goals compared to this PSG side. Arsenal concede fewer goals, and this can be a deciding and a turning point. Raya once again won the Premier League Golden Glove, the best goalkeeper award. And looking at this, you have to say that this Arsenal side, if they can go on to have this good defensive work rates for the remaining part of the season, don't concede much goals, clinical in front of goal. We see that Arsenal, they're clinical in front of goal. Victor Gyökeres, though he has been out of sort, but Gyökeres is someone who can still put the ball at the back of the net. Saka has also stepped up. Arsenal, they're doing good, as well as their defensive work rate has been something that I will say has been a very strong force in their march onto this Premier League title race. And I wish Arsenal fans well, and I think, and I pray and I hope that Arsenal can be able to win the double. So tell me what you think in the comment section. Do you think that Arsenal can go on to win the double after, a bad run of form and some kind of roller coaster ride? Do you think that Arsenal can go on to win the double? Or do you think there's going to be one way or the other of Arsenal bottling it yet again in both competition? Tell me what you think in the comment section. And please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my favorite channel, Champ Footy. Thank you very much.